real and it's made of cheese. So yeah, we are gathered today to find out about America's secret underground cheese bunkers. Exciting.
The U.S. military, but it's so... This has almost nothing to do with the U.S. military, but it's so ridiculous I can't not talk about it.
Okay.
Today we're talking about America's strategic cheese reserve. Yeah, if you didn't know, the United States currently has over 500 underground cave warehouses spanning across 35 different states, the largest of which is underneath Springfield, Missouri.
What?
America, as of August 2022,
what are you doing with so much cheese?
1.5 billion pounds.
That is hoarding.
Cheese. And just for the record, I realize I'm uploading this video very close to April Fool's Day. This is not an April Fool's joke. I am 100% serious. El Dorado is real, and Uncle Sam made it out of cheese.
This is fantastic. El Dorado's real and it's made of cheese.
City of gold.
And I know what you're thinking. Right now, you're like, wow, that's a cool little factoid. I can't wait to share that with my buddy at the bar one day. But no, this is going to infect your thoughts for the rest of your life. You're never going to see the world through the same lens ever again. I mean, for example,
let's just say you're home watching The Walking
Dead. You're going to come to the realization there'd be way more fucking cheese in the apocalypse than that, okay? You're never going to be able to watch Mad Max again without thinking about cheese. You have to come to the terrifying
I already think about cheese.
You live in a world where there is a greater than 0% chance that one of these underground cheese caves gets mistaken for a government facility and gets nuked in World War III, and we're gonna have to deal with a radioactive tsunami wave of nacho cheese. And this is real life. So I asked myself one question: how on earth did America get to this point? Because I know it didn't happen overnight.
Oh,
and what I found was the craziest real-world example of a
why don't I
butterfly
just
effect
sell
that I have ever
it?
seen. And believe it or not, it all actually ties back in with last week's video of the ice cream ships of World War II.
What?
If you missed that, the super abbreviated
I
version,
need to
basically
watch
the
that
US government
too.
banned alcohol during Prohibition in the 1920s. Because of that, all the bars in America turned themselves into ice cream parlors to stay in business. Ice cream stepped up to fill the social void left by alcohol. If so facto, there was like 2 generations of Americans that treated ice cream like it was alcohol.
Wait. Ice cream. I eat ice cream every day. It makes me happy. Is that why, like, we got the whole, like, sitcoms and all the other things where you see, like, sad women on the couch eating ice cream? This is fantastic.
As I'm sure you can imagine, this would drive up dairy consumption. Combine that with the fact that the 30s and 40s is when refrigeration would become readily accessible, meant that for the first time in human history, there was such a demand for dairy products that farmers could exclusively become dairy farmers. Meaning that this would be the birth of the entire dairy industry. And honestly, it worked out great. Right up until it did in 1949. 1949, 4 years after World War II, the American military is downsized. There's not an entire horde of young men eating 10,000 calories a day. And America's not exporting anywhere near as much food to other countries for war relief. Meant that there was a decrease in dairy consumption or a dip in the dairy market. As this became a bigger and bigger problem, the government had to step in because they weren't about to let the entire dairy industry implode. Because, I mean, let's face it, that would be utter catastrophe. So the USDA stepped in and said, hey, you know what? We're going to buy all the excess milk.
Okay, it's my first time seeing him in a video, but I already love him as a creator just from the pure fact that he used puns. You go, sir. You go. It's a very cheesy pun. I love it.
Okay, pause. Thought experiment. You're a dairy farmer.
Yo, he's talking to me, cha. He's talking to me. That's uncanny. That's so weird.
You make all of your money by selling milk, and then suddenly, a couple years back, motherfuckers quit drinking milk, aka you made less money. Now the government has come out of left field and said, hey, we're gonna buy all of the milk. What do? You make more fucking milk. And that's exactly what happened.
Wow.
So just to be clear, there was already
capitalism
at
its finest.
Now there's definitely gonna be too much milk. So naturally, all the milk starts flowing in. The government...
Imagine as a farmer, they're like, we're gonna buy all your milk, and you start going through your cows and you're like squeezing their tits. Like, just going like, come on, you got a bit more milk in there. Come on, come on, Betsy, you can give me 5 milliliters more of milk. I don't know why, that's hilarious to me.
Has absolutely no idea what to do with it, so they turn it into cheese, that way it doesn't expire. That part makes sense, but now what do you do with all the cheese? They have no clue, so they just throw it underneath a mountain, ignore it, and hope the problem goes away. But it doesn't go away because every single presidential administration through the 50s, the 60s, the 70s.
Huh? What do you mean? You hope it goes away and you sweep it under the rug? Who does that? Seriously, like, that's just money. That's literally pure gold in cheese. Look, they underestimate how much we, as Europeans, love cheese.
They all continue to buy up excess milk to prop up the dairy industry, turn it into cheese, and stash it away in these caves. It literally turns
that
into
is
a giant
baffling.
political game, kick the can down the road because nobody wants to be the president that crashes the global economy by not buying enough milk while sitting on top of a mountain of cheese, which, understandable, I don't want to be that guy either. Then, fast forward to 1980, Ronald Reagan, aka the small government guy, gets elected.
That is insane.
Finds out that the U.S. government is sitting on top of 500 million pounds of cheese and spending $1 million a day to refrigerate and store it, and he looks at this whole issue like a beaver looks at running water. Absolutely fucking not. You can't have it. So his administration goes about figuring out the cheapest way to solve this cheese problem. Obviously, we're gonna throw it all in the ocean. However, having at least...
How is that a solution? I mean, okay, I guess it does refrigerate, but I have questions. I'm literally having more questions the more I learn about this, to the point where I'm just like, America, are you okay?
At least the foresight to understand that that would cause political backlash. He wanted to see how the public would receive it. So someone from his administration shows up to a White House press conference with a
Thank you so much, Aldo, for 88 decades.
And is like, hey, we got 500 million pounds of this shit. How would you guys feel if we threw it in the ocean? It'll be fun. We'll save money on cheese. We're going to find out if blue whales are lactose intolerant.
The only picture of a whale eating cheese, courtesy of PFJ. I can't. This is too funny.
Tolerant. It's going to be a great science experiment. The public did not go for it. They kind of felt like, hey, I've paid taxes for the last 40 years. You've turned those taxes into cheese. I would at least like the cheese. So then the Reagan administration took the 55-gallon drums of cheese, cut it up into 5-pound blocks, packaged it, and spent the remainder of his administration funneling 300 million pounds of cheese into impoverished and elderly homes. And this is where we get the saying, government cheese, from.
You're gonna end up eating a steady diet of government cheese and living in a van down by the river.
The U.S.
I never heard that phrase. And I've watched sitcoms and stuff. Like, this is my first time hearing of government cheese as a phrase. Huh.
Government would then continue to give out government cheese until the 1990s, when they seemingly ran out, because as of today, all 1.5 billion pounds of underground secret cheese in America is privately owned by corporations like Kraft and Velveeta. And this is the part where I wanted to end the video on a happy note of the government made a mistake, they fixed a mistake over 50 years, happy ending, hooray. However, it didn't really make sense because something happened in the 1990s where the government was able to stop buying the excess milk. What happened? And that's when it hit me. It was absolutely the Got Milk ad campaign. The biggest
Okay, so the government fixed their issue, and then they went, okay, we're not repeating that. We're not buying any more milk. The economy didn't crash like people were thinking it would.
Most iconic ad campaign of all time. I mean, every cafeteria in every school in America had a bunch of
God, I do remember this. I do remember this. Like, I remember seeing memes about the milk mustache.
Milk mustaches saying, got milk, drink your milk. I vividly remember commercials as a child telling me that if I didn't drink enough milk, my arms would literally fall off my body.
Well, Mr. Marshall never drinks milk. Look at him.
Oh, what the fuck?
No, that's not good.
What the fuck? This was an actual ad campaign?
Surely this is what inspired an entire generation of Americans to eat and drink more dairy products, right? I mean, yeah, probably, but looking back on it now as an adult, doesn't it seem just a little bit weird that it wasn't a particular company putting on all these ads? Like, if there was...
I like the swap to the tinfoil! Bruh, this is so good. This is so epic. He's such a good storyteller. Oh, I like the casual swap. A little bit of trauma isn't bad.
Wasn't one company profiting from selling all this milk, where was all the money coming from? I mean, it almost seems like the government launched a giant psychological operation, ad campaign, just so they can offload milk so they wouldn't have to keep contributing to their mountain of cheese. Well, I'm gonna take this off now because that's legit exactly what
yeah, I was gonna say, that sounds accurate.
Created a non-profit organization known as Dairy Management Incorporated, and their entire job was to get the American people to eat and drink more dairy products.
That's
literally
crazy.
A cabal of individuals plotting behind the scenes to get people to eat more cheese. It's the cheesiest conspiracy of all time.
The cheesiest conspiracy.
Anything that has ever been sold or marketed that involved way too much cheese on it, this company is behind. Okay, they're the reason Taco Bell started selling steak quesadillas. They were behind.
Wait. Is this why we have the pizza with 4 cheeses on it?
Milk
I gotta know now.
In 2002, when Pizza Hut had the Summer of Cheese event where they put way too much cheese on all their pizzas, this is who was behind it. In 2010, when Domino's almost went out of business, they gave Domino's $12 million to stay in business and then gave them a bunch of cheese so that they could put extra cheese on all of their pizzas. And that was their entire proposition for staying in business. Hey, our pizzas
this
have
is
more
insane.
cheese on them now, so they're good. It is absolutely insane.
So
I found the
it's
world's
insane.
cheesiest conspiracy, but then I found leaked internal documents from DMI, and they are the funniest fucking thing I have ever read in my entire life. Let me go ahead and read one for you now. It's a letter from Pizza Hut to DMI regarding a meeting they recently had. July 6, 1999. Dear Greta, we wanted to express our thanks once again for a wonderful meeting last week. We appreciate your team taking the time to share some very valuable information and creativity during our brainstorming session. Everyone is very excited about the presentation you gave regarding DMI's available resources and cheese industry insights. We look forward to working together to develop many cheese ideas we've discussed. We believe this is going to be a valuable partnership for both Pizza Hut and DMI. Let's sell more pizza and more cheese! Exclamation point. Thank you again for coming to Dallas. We look forward.
Let's sell more pizza and more cheese! Bruh! That sounds like a toddler wrote it and it's written in 1999. Why is it so bad? Just why? Like, this looks fake AF. Like, the contents of it is so bad.
About our partnership opportunities.
Wait, Lord of the Cheese, Lady of the Cheese. Okay, I'm done.
Derek, Lord of the Cheese.
I'm
and
done.
Liskrin, Lady of the Cheese.
I am so done. Lord of the Cheese, Derek Correa, and Liskin, Lawler, Lady of the Cheese.
Even they know that this is a fucking joke. Why is this such a joke? Well, because Dairy Management Incorporated, while it is a non-profit, they don't actually have to raise money for themselves like most non-profits do, because they're also a government checkoff program, which means every dairy farmer in America is legally required, whether they want to or not, to send this company money so that they can advertise on their behalf. And their annual budget is
crazy.
Like $140 million a year, with their CEO and top level executives all making right around $1 million per year. Okay,
that is nuts.
I'm trying to tell you, there is a group of people in America getting paid $1 million to convince Americans that cheese is awesome. Okay, that's like trying to fucking explain to Stevie Wonder what nothing looks like and getting paid $1 million for it. He already fucking knows that, okay? It makes no goddamn sense.
It
cheese
doesn't.
is so fucking good that it is the one thing on earth that if you are allergic to it, we're not going to say you have a cheese allergy. No, you're lactose intolerant. We're not going to say you're allergic because we all know you're going to eat that shit anyways.
Okay, he does have a very good point. It's crazy that they're still getting paid to promote it, despite the fact that, like, I think everyone's convinced that how good cheese is, right? Like, I think they can totally take the money out of that. At least in my opinion. Like, hell, we have gourmet cheese places over here. But to be fair, it's very true. It's very true that,
Because
like,
the consequences are worth
I
it.
know
Am
a
I
lot of
upset right
lactose
now?
intolerant
A little bit. Is it
that
because I'm
still
jealous?
want cheese.
It's basically selling ass candles to dogs and getting paid $1 million for it. It is the most ridiculously easy job on the planet, and I'm so mad that it's not mine. Anyways, I guess
I'm
if you made
mad
it this
it's
far
not
beyond his TED
mine.
Talk, in conclusion, the U.S. government banned alcohol in the 1920s. It set forth a ripple effect through time, and now some dude in 2023 has my dream job of making $1 million a year to convince people of some shit they already knew. And the US has 1.5 billion pounds of cheese hidden in an
Insane.
underground cave network. Fucking the more you know, I guess. Thanks for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch at fatelectrician.com.
This is great.
Clack bang.
This is my
Ow,
first
I'm gonna
video
go
seeing
fucking
him,
shit.
but yeah. This is great. Absolutely love it. I love the channel. I love the vibes. It's very fun storytelling. Oh, cheese. Yeah. This is insane. I have no words.